The loon tried, swimming with strong wings. He was gone a long, long time, but he too failed to bring up the earth. Soon it seemed that all had tried and all had failed. Then a small voice spoke, "I will bring up the earth or die trying."
How many animals we have already trying? Three, okay? And now we have a voice of a fourth animal, okay? You're gonna see that fourth animal right now on page 22. Okay, go on.
They looked to see who it was. It was a tiny muskrat. She dove down and swam and swam. She was not as strong or as swift as the others, but she was determined.
Very important you underline that word. Determined. That determination is gonna help that muskrat big time. And our lesson, our moral lesson in the story, in this myth, is gonna go around that word, determination, okay? Go on.
She went so deep that it was all dark, and still she swam deeper. She swam so deep that her lungs felt ready to burst, but she swam deeper still. At last, just as she was becoming unconscious, she reached out one small paw and grasped at the bottom, barely touching it before she floated up almost dead. When the other animals saw her break the surface, they thought she had failed. Then they saw her right paw as was held tightly shut.
Okay. When the other animals saw her break the surface, they thought she had failed. What happened with the animals? What does that tell you about the other animals?
They weren't very determined, confident.
Determined, confident. Why do you think they didn't trust the muskrat?
Because she was tiny.
The son was little. And what happens sometimes when we see a friend of ours that is probably small, fragile, looks fragile, and we need to do something, we don't go to that friend. Why? Because we think probably something's gonna happen, or probably that thing could fall on top of that person, and to protect that person, or because we don't trust that person, we don't what? Go to that person. And we go probably to a person that looks stronger, bigger, and differently from that person. So you're gonna see that the other animals did not trust the muskrat, and the muskrat is gonna do what? Prove them wrong. Okay? Go on.
She has the earth, they said. Now where can we put it? Place it on my back, said a deep voice. It was the great turtle who had come up from the depth. They brought the muskrat over to the great turtle and placed her paw against his back. To this day, there are marks at the back of the turtle's shell which were made by the muskrat's paw. The tiny bit of earth fell on the back of the turtle. Almost immediately, it began to grow larger and larger and larger until it became the whole world.
Okay. How many animals tried and they did not succeed? Three. Before those three tried, we had an animal that appeared. Some animals.
A muskrat.
No, before the animals failed. Who caught? The woman.
The swan.
Swan, very good. So we have a lot of animals there. Now we have the muskrat. Now we're gonna have the what? The turtle. Okay? What happened with the earth? They placed it where?
On the turtle's back.
On the turtle's back, okay? And what happened with the shell of the turtle? It's saying that today it has those marks because of what?
Of the muskrat paws.
The muskrat's paw, very good. The tiny bit of earth fell on the back of the turtle. Almost immediately it began to grow larger and larger and larger until it became the whole world. So that is, so far, the origin myth of how the earth was created according to the Onondaga tribe, okay? We're not talking about the Mora, we're not talking about the Navajo. Right now we're focusing on the Onondaga. That was their belief on how the earth began. Remember what we said about the myths. It's a myth is used to explain the unexplainable. If they didn't know how the earth began, boom, they're gonna throw out a myth. And they're gonna use that myth to what? To show us or to show the other Native Americans in that tribe how the earth was supposedly created. Okay? Go on.
Then the two swans brought the sky woman down. She stepped onto the new earth and opened her hand, letting the seed fall onto the bare soil. From those seeds, the trees and the grass sprang up. Life on earth had begun.
So the trees, the grass, and all of that is going to come out of what?
Of the seeds.
Out of the seeds. Remember something. Why the tree is so important. Remember that down there's not a tree. So the seeds are going to come from that tree that was uprooted. What will happen if the woman wouldn't have the dream?
The world wasn't.
They wouldn't have the land.
They wouldn't find what? There was water down there. She wouldn't fall. She wouldn't got those seeds. And from those seeds, all the other vegetation was going to be created. Very important. Do you notice that while they were attempting to get the earth, the woman was with what? With the swans. Very good. She wasn't in the water. She was with the swans. Once they get the earth on the back of the turtle and start growing, right there they place it, and right there she has a place to stand. Okay? This story is divided in two parts. Part number 1, or part A, the tree and the dream of the tree that has been uprooted, and now the chief is going to what? He's going to uproot the tree. So all of that process of the tree and her falling, all of that is going to be part number 1. Part number 2, or part B, is going to be how the animals are going to look to solve the problem of bringing the earth up. Okay? So in how many parts is going to be divided our story?
2.
In 2. Basically, this is the myth of the creation of the earth in regards, or from the point of view of the Onondaga tribe. So basically that's it for today. Thank you.